haven't posted a YouTube video in a while, but I'm back with a new one. So for this video, I'm going to show you how I recreated Taylor Swift's flower dress. This is the Oscar de la Renta dress that she wore for the Grammys, and when I saw it for the first time, I absolutely loved it, so I just had to recreate it. And the actual dress is nearly $9,000. But I'll show you how I made my version just using a dress from the thrift store and some flowers from Dollar Tree. So to start out, instead of making a dress from scratch, I got this one from the thrift store for about $15, and it's pretty nice. It's got a peach color, but it's just a little bit too long, so I just hemmed it. And all of the extra fabric from the bottom of the hem is what I used to make the sleeves and the new neckline. So to extend the neckline for the dress, I just draped it on the mannequin and I put guidelines for where the collar would be. So I just cut out the pattern for that and sewed it on the sewing machine and then sewed it onto the dress. And to make sleeves for the dress, I just draped it on the mannequin following the line of the shoulder and then just sewed that together. And the bottom of the sleeve has this flounce-shaped cuff, which is really easy to make. I just had to cut out a circle out of the fabric and then cut a hole in the middle. And then just attach this part to the bottom of the sleeve and just sew it on the sewing machine, like so. And then this is the dress all done, and now it's time to put the flowers on it. So I basically just tried to find a bunch of flowers that kind of match the original color scheme, and I just took apart all of the petals and then ironed them flat. And the flowers on the dress kind of look like pressed flowers, so ironing them is a perfect way to prepare it, and I feel like it'll also be way easier to sew onto the dress as well. But yeah, so these are all of the flowers all prepared. And some of the flowers I just painted the edges as well because I had too many white flowers and I needed a little bit more pink. So I like to commit to useless details that no one else will notice, so I did that. And then for the middle parts of the flowers, I used beads. And I used mostly glass beads, and I started sewing the flowers onto the dress and then putting the beads on top. But it was actually kind of difficult to do that all directly onto the dress. So what I ended up doing was sewing the flowers separately, basically sewing the beads onto the flowers first and then putting it onto the dress afterwards. So there was a bit of trial and error there, but that was the best way to do it for me. And for each flower, I kind of gave them a different design. So the sunflowers, I tried to make them look like sunflowers, so I used brown beads for that. And then the little daisies, I used yellow beads. And basically just tried to make each one look different, give it its own personality. I feel like that makes it look more interesting. And I also used this brown thread as well to kind of make branches on the sleeves. And I also used these tiny little flowers. I had some purple ones and some pink ones to make it look like little pieces of lavender. And this dress took a while to make. I think I was working on it for about a full month before it was done. Basically, just putting all of the flowers onto the dress was the most time-consuming part. I think this dress has about like 120 flowers on it. I should count, but it was a lot. It was definitely a lot. This project took forever, to be honest. Anyways, and eventually I got tired of sewing the flowers, so I started gluing them onto the dress, which wasn't bad. It actually worked, and it ended up saving a bit more time in the long run because sewing was taking way too long. For the positioning of all of the flowers, I kind of roughly followed Taylor's dress just to kind of make it look similar, but I didn't want to make an exact copy, so I didn't follow it 100%. And then for the hem, I cut around the flowers and then I just sewed the lining on the sewing machine just to give it a nice finished look. So after a whole month of non-stop sewing, this is how the dress turned out. And I'm really happy with it. I feel like it looks very similar to the original dress, but It's definitely different because of the beadwork on it. I just love sewing beads on everything. It's kind of a problem. Yeah, I feel like it definitely makes it a little different, but it still has the look and feel of the original that I fell in love with in the first place. I like how the sleeves move. If I was going to the Eras tour, I would have definitely worn this dress, but I actually made it to wear to my birthday party. I planned a cottagecore themed high tea birthday, and my friend Giselle helped me decorate, and we really committed to this theme with all of the flowers and the pastel color scheme. And my friends also showed up in really nice cottagecore outfits, and they all looked so beautiful. I also got the idea to make embroidered name cards for each of my friends, and with some of the leftover flowers that I made for the dress, I put them on the embroidery hoops, and I gave each of them a different color scheme, and it was just a nice little gift that I wanted to make for them to remember me by. Not because I'm dying or anything, but because at this party I was telling them that I was moving to Australia. And then we just placed the embroidery hoops on the table, and it just looked so perfect with the whole cottagecore theme. This is making me realize I have the hobbies of an 80-year-old woman. I even sewed my own placemats for this tea party. Yeah, I really belong in a retirement home. I like to have a good time, dressing up, having tea with your pals. Doesn't get better than that. That's the life. That's the life that I would like to live. But anyways, I really enjoyed the process of making the dress, and along with the other unexpected side projects that came along with it. But yeah, that's the whole video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!